everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Wednesday. Now, with Metroid Prime 4 being right around the corner, I figured we should probably take a look at this little obscure entry into the whole Metroid Prime sort of series, that being none other than Metroid Prime Hunters for the Nintendo DS. So, without any further introduction, let's hop right into this. Alright, and here we are in Metroid Prime Hunters. Now, this game is technically canon now. I don't know if it was like fully canon back in the day when it released, but now for sure, because with Metroid Prime 4, one of the main baddies is Solix, and he debuted in this game. So that is why we're taking a look at it today, just to get a little bit of the background information, I guess, on the whole, you know, sort of Metroid Prime Hunters sort of dealio, I guess. Although, not that there's a whole lot of information to be had with this game, because it is, you know, like a portable title. You kind of just do your missions in like little clusters, if we can even say that. So like the whole premise of this game is that Samus gets some sort of mysterious message, or the Galactic Federation does, and Samus goes to investigate it, and she comes across these sort of like weird little power crystals, and where the whole Hunters angle kind of comes into it is because the other bounty hunters also received this distress signal or message or whatever, and they're going to go figure it out for themselves as well. So that is kind of the sort of rivalry between Samus and these other bounty hunters. I believe Solix was also in Metroid Prime 3. Could be mistaken on that fact. I'll be honest, I haven't really played Metroid Prime 3. I haven't even played Metroid Prime 2, but do not worry, that is coming. That is coming, as we kind of have a little thing set up with taking a look at all of the Metroid Prime games before Metroid Prime 4's release in December. So that'll start off next week, and we got some fun little things for those videos that I won't really want to get too far into right now. But here we are in Samus's gunship, and we're taking a look at the Celestial Archives. I guess we'll go ahead and land our ship there. Because this is a Nintendo DS game, and it is a first-person shooter, things are gonna be a little jank with that, because let's all think back to the Nintendo DS, shall we? It had a D-pad, it had 4 face buttons, then 2 shoulder buttons, and that was pretty much it in terms of like your actual gameplay control. So you may ask, like, how does that even work, you know, with a first-person shooter? And to tell you, it actually kind of works alright, because I have this thing set up, instead of it using the face buttons to look around, which is absolutely disgusting, I have it set up so that we can actually use our touchscreen for aiming. And honestly, it's like one of the most comfortable things with these sort of touchscreen aiming controls. And then, you know, you can shoot your arm cannon and stuff, and if I can remember how to jump, I believe, there you go, yeah, so you jump using the face buttons, and then you can go into the morph ball like everything else. And it is a Prime staple to, you know, go ahead and use our scan visor here. We gotta scan all the things. Here, we'll scan the gunship. There we go, look at that Hunter gunship, all that stuff, beautiful. Recover your health, or hide from your enemies, or whatever. But yeah, there we go. The Metroid Prime Hunters is pretty much a full-fledged Metroid Prime game built for the Nintendo DS. And for it being a Nintendo DS game, you know, it looks okay. It's not the worst looking thing in the world. Honestly, for 3D graphics, the DS was not really that big of a powerhouse, but this game, you know, it looks like a PS1 game, PS1 Metroid, if you will. I recently picked this up from a gaming convention. Not a gaming convention, it was an anime convention. I recently picked it up from an anime convention back in August, I believe. I think it was the beginning of August. And I've been playing it, you know, pretty religiously ever since on my 3DS XL. Or not 3DS XL, my DSi XL. And if you're planning on playing like any games like this, the DSi XL is really freaking nice. And there we go, we're through our first puzzle here. We just had to, you know, scan that little doodad right there, and then we can open up our door and have a good old adventure. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you're like planning on playing DS games, getting a DSi XL is kind of nice. The screens are bigger and the aspect ratio is correct. Whereas if you were to, you know, get it on a what do you call it, a 3DS XL. The DS games do not run in their native resolution because of the difference in size between the 3DS's top and bottom screens. So if you want that authentic DS feel, I recommend picking up a DSi XL. They're still kind of cheap. They're getting a little more expensive now that a lot of people are kind of catching on to that. But you know, it's definitely a nice little thing to add to the collection, especially if you're a fan of, you know, playing DS games. However, if you want to do like, you know, any sort of streaming or whatever, a 3DS is definitely the way to go because it just makes things a whole lot easier. Yeah, as I was saying, this is pretty much a full-fledged Metroid Prime game. It feels a little weird because it's not as, I guess, exploration-based as some of the previous ones. Because, you know, like typically with Metroid games, you would go on your adventure on like one environment and you would just go through different like sections, whereas with this one it's more of what do you call it, like you go to a location, you'll get an item. So like for instance, right now we're on this celestial like freighter or whatever, I forgot what it's called, archives. We're in the celestial archives. We'll do something here, get an item, and then we'll have to go to another location, get another item, maybe come back here later, that sort of dealio. And so it's like weird little portable system quirks. Whereas with like Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission, it didn't really feel like there was that much of a break between gameplay. This one, it feels kind of like really broken up, and I guess it could be from the needing to go to the different planets and whatnot, but I'm not 100% sure. That's just my opinion, you know, being a Metroid connoisseur. Kind of how I feel with this whole system. All right, let's see. Artifact Shield, a security device that protects the artifacts. This device can be unlocked with the proper key. Oh, I guess we're doing combat now. Hello, Mr. Guys. Should I scan them? Is that important? I probably should scan them. You know, it is a Metroid Prime staple to scan everything, as that was a lot of S's in that sentence. It became quite hard to say. I like how they kind of modified the gun, or the arm cannon in this too, to feel a little better for the, you know, like the Nintendo DS. Now, I'm not actually playing this with the Nintendo DS. I'm playing this on the Wii U because it was a virtual console game that was available on there. And using the shoulder button on the gamepad is far more comfortable than using the shoulder button on, say, like a DS Lite. Like the DS Lite has this teeny tiny little thing that's like no bigger than that, and if you had to do a whole bunch of rapid presses with just to fire the arm cannon, it would be quite uncomfortable. just laying that out there. I mean, it's even uncomfortable just playing this game. And in this one, it shoots in a 3-round burst, or a 4-round burst, the arm cannon does. Yeah, it shoots in like a 4-round burst and then it starts to charge. But yeah, even just doing that, like if you were to sit there and tap like this, then your finger really hurts. It just really hurts. The DS was not made for a shoulder button sort of a use, let's just put it that way. Let's see, a cartographic artifact coded with spatial coordinates of a hidden chamber or something. Okay, so this thing, I believe if we pick it up, then we unlock a new location that we can go to on the gunship. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, where now we picked up the artifact. If we go back to our gunship, now we can go to a different planet. But I think, if I'm remembering correctly, we have to get something else from here first. Which way are we going? Is this like a secret area? Can we go in here? It looks like a secret area. Let's morph ball it up. Anything in here? That's a fat no. How about on the other side? Is there anything on the other side? Do. Doing the morph ball action. Just kidding, I got stuck. Unfortunately, there's no spring ball in this, so yeah, you really do just kind of get stuck with your morph ball. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Anything in this room? Nope. Whole lot of nothing. 50 Shades of nothing. Alright, where is the fancy room with the crystals? Right over here. So I guess we'll go in this general direction and see what else we can take a look at. See if we can go any farther. Oh, hello, Mr. Sentry Droids. Nice to see you here. There we go. Get a little bit of that arm cannon action and get the F out of here. Ooh, look at that. There we go. That's the little area. If we go into our morph ball, what is that? Missile expansion? Nope, it was just missiles. Enter morph ball mode. Alright, thank you. Thank you for telling me how to do what I already know. I'm not a, how do you say, like a Metroid Noob. Ooh, energy tank. Even better. That's good. I do like a good little energy tank here. That's a nice little feature. I'll be honest, I don't really remember much of this thing, because at some point this game does get a little confusing, where it's like where you're supposed to go is like not clear at all. Again, I think that kind of comes back to the fact that, you know, the arenas are so segmented in here, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it definitely can leave you a little confused as to how to progress sometimes. Hello, green boy. I think this is one of the hunters. And now this is kind of what happened the first time that I played it, is I didn't actually go up here, and so I got really confused as to why I couldn't progress anywhere. But you know, with this being my second time playing through, I do kind of remember a little bit of these sort of weird little nuanced things. I think I'm actually gonna go over this way and grab that missile expansion as well before we go after that other bounty hunter. There we go, we got a missile expansion. Nice, now it's up to 10. We'll head back over there, and then we'll chase down this other bounty hunter, whatever his name is. I think he shoots like green goo or something, or it's like electricity. Something along those lines. He's like a weird little serpent dude. Oh, we got a gunship transmission. Let's see. A pilot of dock ship identified as bounty hunter Kraden. Your warp signature was traced. Assume hostile intent. Thank you, gunship, for telling me about the guy that I clearly already saw. That's good. Does this lead to an arena? Where is our dude? Where is Kraden? Where did Kraden go? I need to blasto him in the butt. He needs to get a new hole, so to speak. Alright, here we go. There you are, you nasty little worm dude. Where'd you go? Stop leaving your little poops all around. Come here. Come here. Come here, let me blasto you. Yeah, there we go. Get blastoed. Don't touch me, I'm sterile. Oh yeah, the other thing about this Metroid game that I literally completely forgot was this is also a multiplayer game. So, unlike Metroid Prime 2, where it had like the local multiplayer more akin to Halo, this game actually had online multiplayer via the DS's like Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, I believe is what it was called. Didn't ever get a whole lot of use out of that as a kid, unfortunately. Like, I think the only game that I owned that would have supported it was GoldenEye 007. On the DS, and I could never get it working because the DS was really strange because it only would connect to networks that had WEP like security protocols, I believe. I don't think it had support for WEP2 or WPA. I think it was WPA actually. It was WPA, maybe WEP, like security protocols for your network, and so I could never get it to connect to the internet like growing up to even try out games on there, and honestly it kind of sucks. And there are replacement servers for a lot of the Nintendo DS games, akin to like, you know, those sort of aftermarket or third-party replacement services. The DS has one as well. It's kind of hard to connect to because, again, the DS just does not work with like newer Wi-Fi security, so you have to either have an unsecure network or pretty much have a borderline unsecure network using one of those legacy security protocols. So it's kind of hard to get up and running, but note, if you do have a DS lying around and you want to play DS multiplayer, you technically can. I would just recommend getting like a cheapo router from a secondhand store, and then don't put security on it and hide the network. and use that only for DS connectivity and only when you're actually going to use it. So that is just kind of the weird history of DS multiplayer. It's cool that this is a game that supported it. Unfortunately, you know, we just can't play it easily today. But I mean, if you're interested in seeing like DS multiplayer games, we could probably, you know, do that at some point. If I can get a DS capture card or some sort of setup going where we can actually record from the console itself. But yeah, I would love to play some multiplayer, maybe host some game nights. But in other words, as I was rambling about weird network configurations and stuff, we did end up defeating Kraden, so that's good. That's a good thing. Where are we supposed to be going, actually? Both of those doors are locked. Do we have to go through here? Is this the technique? Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the room that had the hidden thing. We got ourselves a little artifact. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, there's that. And now we can leave through that door. Nice. Awesome. We'll grab the health thing anyway. Don't need it, but we'll grab it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I should probably do like a tutorial for like setting up the Nintendo DS, like online abilities. That would be kind of fun to go over, I guess. Maybe if you're interested in a tutorial like that, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. I know that there's a lot of desire for a tutorial on sort of Xbox 360 stuff relating to Bad Update, and I am working on those as just a little update. It's just, there's been some stuff going on in the back end. I haven't had a whole lot of time for videos. That's why we haven't really done much in terms of Friday content for a little bit, but yeah. Alright, there we go. We got ourselves a little magic room or something like that. Another artifact piece. I guess we'll grab that real quick. There we go. Give me scan visor. Scan that. Alright, let's see. Oh, actually, I don't think I needed to do that. I think these need to be shot, right? Yeah, they needed to be shot. You know, sometimes that's where it helps to read. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, it helps to read. There we go. Grab that, and then grab this artifact piece. And there we go. Now we got our portal activated. Okay, cool. So there we go. We got ourselves another little piece of the artifact here. I believe if we go back down in this area, we can scan that, right? Is that what we do? We scan that, and then we can go back to the ship. Nice. Okay, we'll go right in there and head back to our little ship. There we go, and then we'll just hop on up on top and give it a little save, because we need to do a little bit of a save here, because unfortunately we are out of time for Metroid Prime Hunters. So with that, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, remember to drop a like and make that subscribe button glow so that you don't miss any future content. And if you have any suggestions for games you want us to take a look at, be sure to leave it down in the comments or pitch it in our official Discord server. Link down below in case you're interested in stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.